In Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire, we follow the growing character of Daenerys Targaryen, the last of her house and dragon mommy, as she attempts to conquer the Iron Throne. Along the way, she euthanizes her husband, locks Xaro Xhoan in his empty vault, burns the Astapor elite, and nails the great masters of Meereen to crosses, which begs the question, is Dany really the hero? Or is she the villain? But limiting her to a simple definition of good or evil betrays the true philosophy of Game of Thrones as a whole. But first we must need to go over the different definitions of philosophies of morality. In Gilbert Harmon's and Judith Jarvis Thompson's groundbreaking book, Moral Relativism and Moral Objectivity, they give out several important definitions that hash out the differences between moral absolutism, moral relativism, and moral nihilism. These are the terms that frame our discussion on Daenerys. Moral absolutism is described as there can only be one single true morality. In more layman's term, humanity as a whole shares a set of principles and ideals that are common to all of us. Not necessarily everyone, but most people. A good example would be found in the Abrahamic religions. Just look at the Ten Commandments. Moral relativism asserts that there is no single true morality. There are many different moral frameworks, none of which is more correct than the other. Basically, people have different sensibilities, ideals, and way of thinking. What I might not be okay with, some other people would be okay with. And according to the writers, moral nihilism agrees with moral relativism definition and takes it the conclusion to be a reason to reject morality altogether, including any sort of relative morality. Essentially, it states that morality is just a social construct that offers no real value to society other than disagreement, and so to nix the concept altogether would benefit society. When George R.R. Martin created the landscape of Game of Thrones, he set out to make morally ambiguous characters. And so we proudly present Daenerys Targaryen as the picture and physical representative of moral relativism. She, throughout the course of the books and series, continues to do deeds that we may consider bad or immoral, but any great acts Daenerys commits are done within her moral framework of what is right and wrong. In the books and show, we have several scenes that are morally ambiguous to the audience and the characters. The first scene we will discuss is the burning of Mary Maz-Dur in the iconic pyro scene in the first season. Mary Maz-Dur is the healer Daenerys saves after Khal Drogo sacks and burns her village. She is raped by members of Khal Drogo's Khalasar, and Dany offers her protection from further attacks, and then asks her for help in treating Khal Drogo's wound. The audience is then led to believe throughout the course of the next episodes that Mary Maz-Dur caused Dany's husband's death and son's as retribution for her rape. Dany then burns Mary Maz-Dur and Drogo's funeral pyro and hatches her dragons. During this final scene, we are led to believe that Dany's act of violence is justified, but let's examine this more closely. Mary Maz-Dur was raped, her temple was burned, and her town destroyed. Her actions toward Daenerys could be considered justified in the same way that Daenerys can be. Revenge is universal in all cultures. The Dothraki are just doing what they are best at, sacking towns and taking slaves. This is their culture. And when Dany saves Mary Maz-Dur, she is violating Dothraki cultural norms. There is nothing wrong with raping women in conquered towns because that is the Dothraki way. That is their moral landscape. Therefore, when Dany burns her, she is also confining to what the Dothraki consider to be justice. Blood for blood. When someone betrays you, you kill them, as seen when Khal Drogo kills one of the members of his Khalasar for speaking against his actions. These events make her one of the most morally ambiguous characters in the show, with Tyrion Lannister as a close second. From her eyes, she is doing what she considers best and what she considers to be justice. We We can see from several sources the fierce debate on whether Dany is good or evil. A Tumblr essay that sees her as a white savior, while the essay in response says that she did what she did out of a sense of right and wrong, but she is readily willing to give up what she believes in to get what she wants. We can see this in her marriage, as she lets Dothraki rape and kill each other as she wages war on people, which causes needless slaughter. In fact, she's the perfect metaphor for moral relativism in the same aspect. She acts as the viewer's mouthpiece that expresses discomfort when sees the Dothraki rape and kill. However, she grows into the role as she understands the Dothraki culture, and on some level you wonder whether they are savage beings and the Westeros' citizens are just as low as the Dothraki. You can see this in the religion, the backstabbing, and other morals. Say what you want about Dothraki, but at least they are honest about what they do and who they are. And Dany realizes this and continues on her journey, doing not only what she believes is right, but what she believes she needs to do to send a message. As you can see, good and evil is not an acceptable dichotomy to be applied to the moral landscape in Game of Thrones. Each character, especially Daenerys Targaryen, represents elements of moral relativity. Dany is the poster child for this ideal, as she is presented with decisions that could be considered immoral or moral, depending on the culture that is judging the act.
Yeah, this feels good, huh?
Be careful.
Yeah.
Come on
Oh,
now.
yeah. This is pretty
Last
cool,
time
huh?
you went a little too hard,
Oh, yeah.
and I had to get some icy hot.
This is nice,
Huh?
huh?
Oh boy.
Maybe after this we can go
Oh,
out for a picnic
yes.
or something like that.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss my cheek. Kiss
Give me
my
that
cheekbone.
cheekbone.
Oh,
What?
What
Give
the
me
fuck?
that cheekbone. Yeah?
Hey!
Stop.
Hey, kid! Get the fuck off there!
Huh?
Hey!
Hold on.
Hey, you! Whoa. Get in here!
Yo,
you
James.
completely
James,
mad?
tell
That
me what you
fucker
think
saw
you're doing,
everything.
kid.
Yo, that kid saw everything. Everyone
He
just
saw
slow
us.
down. I ain't about
I
this.
heard
I'm
you the
Jamie
first
Lannister.
time.
Come on. Uh-huh. James. Oh, hey, dog. James. We can't
Wanna
have
go pet
this.
the
We
dog?
can't have this kid.
How old are you, boy?
Can't do
Hey,
this.
kid,
You know what season it is? Huh?
10.
Hey, tell me what season it is.
Okay.
Wanna know?
All right.
The things I do for love.
It's fall, bitch!